Welcome back to the art studio. It is now Monday. First thing I want to do is glue this thing together. I'm not entirely sure if I can do it all in one shot. We at least want to get all the little stacks of 3 glued together. Because this is actually one of the biggest pieces I've done, which means we're going to have to mix up a lot of glue, and we have a lot of glass to clean, so let's get started. The glass has been glued into the little stacks, so now we need to let these cure for a couple of days and then we can come back and re-glue them to get the full shape. Now we're gonna go back to a project that we were working on a couple weeks ago, which is this stack of glass here. The glue is fully cured, so we can now begin shaping all the edges. So this is about as far as we can get with it tonight. It's turning out pretty well so far. We still have to carve the bottom. I also want to add some other carvings to each side to give it some more detail. With that said, I'm going to wrap everything up here and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, so I just got to the studio. The first thing we're going to do is take these molds that we made in a previous video. We're going to put these into a kiln and get them fired up. Molds are all filled and good to go, so now we're gonna run this thing for probably a week at least. It's gonna take about a week and a half for that glass to fully melt and then cool down. So in a couple of weeks, we're gonna return back to this project and hopefully finish it up. And now we're gonna get back to the infinity sculpture that we were working on yesterday. So we have this thing shaped up. Now we're gonna have this run on the reciprocal lap for a while until we get all these big sides here to a 600 grit finish. While the infinity sculpture is doing its thing, we're gonna work on this here. Now the idea behind this series is that this here is a wand, like a bubble wand, and this is a bubble being blown out of it. I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of stuff I wanna do with this series. I wanna make the bubble much larger. I wanna do like Marini, I wanna do Kane. I want to maybe mirrorize this one, I'm not entirely sure. But there's a lot I really want to do with this series. I think there's a lot of potential with this. But for this particular piece, all we're really going to do is cold work off this nub. We need to smoothen up the bottom of this part here. And then I want to sandblast the handle. That way it looks different from the bubble and it all doesn't kind of just blend together. Now without further ado, let's just get to work. Now that we have everything polished up and good to go, it's time to sandblast the handle here, so this way it looks a little different than the bubble. This here is the almost finished product. We still have to build a stand. It's gonna be displayed kind of like this. I want it to be at a tilt. Other than that though, I'm really excited about this series and all the other variations and cool stuff that we can do with this. We managed to get a lot done today, but it is getting late, so we're gonna wrap everything up here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wednesday. It's now Wednesday at the studio. Today we're gonna try to get around to a couple of different things, but the main thing I wanna do today is fill up a bunch of puzzle piece molds and get them ready to be casted. I planned on getting 6 done today, but maybe I'll do 8. And then if we have time, we're gonna go ahead and work on the infinity sculpture. So these here are all the pieces. They are done. Obviously, we still have to melt all these together. I didn't record me doing every single one because I wanted to record it for some other videos. We're gonna spend the rest of our night working on the infinity sculpture that we were working on yesterday. While I was working on the puzzle pieces, I had this going in the reciprocal lap, and we got all the sides up to a 600 grit finish. So these sides here are all good to go. Now we just have to work on this bevel here. I only managed to get through 1 grit on the bevel. We have a lot more that we still have to do. Then we still have to carve the thing and do a whole bunch of other stuff. So we'll just pick back up on this tomorrow. Before we get back to work on the infinity sculpture, we're actually gonna go back to gluing the other one. The stacks that we glued together on Monday are starting to harden up, so we can go ahead and re-glue them to the final shape. Now we're just gonna get back to work on the other infinity sculpture that we were working on yesterday. We need to do 1 more grit along the entire bevel, and after that we can begin the carvings along the faces of the piece. But it's getting late, so we'll pick back up on this tomorrow. The bevel finished up. I also got the edges nice and soft and chip free. Now you can see I drew a little template here on the piece. This is where we're going to add some carvings onto the glass. In the midst of carving the glass, Slim came back, so got some food going for him. Or her, actually. Hungry. So we managed to get all the carvings on the piece roughed in. We still have to go through with the 600 grit wheel to get these to be a little smoother. Then once that's done, we're ready to polish the entire thing. But it's also the end of the week, so we got to wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed the vlog, then be sure to like. If you want to keep up with all the other videos, then be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for your time.